Hello bitches, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go down memory lane together and just look at my old DeviantArt. And if you are a true hoe, you have been following me through the DeviantArt days. And if you are a truer hoe, you've been following me before I was on DeviantArt and when I was on YouTube just uploading shitty MS Paint animations. And then that's when we migrated to DeviantArt, and then from there we went to Tumblr and then to all other parts of the internet. I'm honestly not really that excited to look at my old art, just simply because I'm not a fan of remembering who I was during those days in life, but definitely a lot has changed since then, and I'd like to think that it's for the better. But you know, there's nothing else to do during this self-isolation period, so why not do some self-reflection and cringe together while you're at it. So yeah, let's get looking at my DeviantArt together and just clench our asses together. Also, just a side note, there's going to be a lot of scratchy sounds from my microphone because my hair was brushing against it, so yell at my hair, but yeah, sorry for the inconvenience, but I hope you can ignore it. So, before I was mewDoubled, I was actually mewDoubled, and I'm actually just having a moment because I'm so fucking unfamiliar with this new interface of DeviantArt, but I mean changes. I'm just having a moment where I'm just absorbing everything right now because I just literally have not been on this site in such a long time. But yes, my name is mewDoubled, and for those of you who are wondering why this was even my username to begin with, it is simply because when I was 11 years old, I was a fucking Tokyo Mew Mew fanatic. And because I loved it so much, I was like, I need to be some sort of Mew. And you know, in Tokyo Mew Mew, they have two Mews. So two Mews is mewDoubled. And everyone thought it was like me saying I was fucking Mewtwo from Pokemon. So now you know the background to my username, and it just simply is the curse of my 11-year-old self. Also, I forgot to mention that I changed it from mewDoubled to mewTripled when I started to join Tumblr, just because it was kind of like an upgrade from doubled to tripled. So that's why I'm called mewTripled now. As we are scrolling through this, you can see that I had my full body commissions as one of my latest posts, and I think I mentioned this in my previous video, but please do not ever just do full body commissions for $10, because when I was younger, I thought $10 was a shit ton of money, but it's really not. I made a video specifically about how you should ideally be pricing your artwork at a young age, so please check out that video because this is not really going to be feeding you anything, okay? And Mila's hair. Let's see, this is another one. So I guess this is a comic I made a while ago about one of my old OCs. Okay, wait, I actually have to read this. I really don't fucking remember. Why'd you do this to your hair? You look so silly. Do you think you're a bunny or something? OMG, Mila, you're so cute. She's reading this book called Courageous Clyde. That sounds stupid. You can do anything. Lame.
Just because you have money or power doesn't make you strong. Strength doesn't come from deception or arrogance. Learning from your mistakes and suffering is what makes you powerful.
Wow, you know, my high school self had a lot to say back then. And I guess she decided to grab some hair gel. I'm gonna take care of him. Wait, my mom! Don't touch her! That's some real trauma shit. I like you. Goodbye. And boop! Comes out two little sprouts. It's stupid, but I'm not Mila without it. Okay, damn, that was actually low-key powerful. That was just pretty much a comic about this character I had, and she always had these little sprouts of hair coming out of her head, and everyone thought it was stupid or thought it was silly that she had them, but the reason why she has it is because it reminds her of a character that really motivated her to do shit in life. And this is called What the Purple. And I mean, yeah, I get it. What the purple? I don't understand what the purple is. So let's look at my gallery and see what else is here. Wow, so a lot of my older stuff, like this stuff, is when my friends and I, back in high school, we wanted to just make our own story and worlds together. And this is when I was like into hardcore like sci-fi anime shit where, you know, they talk about politics and like just get really serious about shit. Like, I really wanted to basically make my own anime that could almost be like Full Metal Alchemist or Dead Man Wonderland or things like that. Just really inspired me during that time, and my friends and I were just really into that stuff. And I mean, these aren't bad drawings, I'm not saying that these are bad at all. Like, I really admire how loose this is. It's just things that are very small nuances. I notice now I would do a lot more differently. Like, this is so even. Like, I mean, I made a video about this recently about how you want to avoid having evenness in your boards, and it's just like, yeah, the separation between the foreground and the background is just all evenness. And even though it's a very lively image that's very loose, I'm just like, yeah, it's still really even. And I really like just brainstorming those conceptual things. And also during this time period of my life was when I first started CalArts, or I think I graduated high school. That was kind of where I was. And I also was really into doing like full-on paintings. Like, would you believe that at some point in time I actually had the patience to do this shit? Because me right now, if you ask me to do a full-on coloring with this like facial shading and whatnot, like, bitch, I don't fucking got time for that stuff. And like, I do have time, but I just choose not to use it for this stuff, if you want me to be honest. I used to just really enjoy doing these rendered things where I just really shaded things, played with the volume and lighting and whatnot. I think I just really enjoyed making a face out of nothing. I did not even use references for these, by the way. I literally just drew the outlines and would just mark up where the shadows would hit their features. And from what I've noticed, I really like drawing people with high cheekbones. These are just really fun to do because, I don't know, it just made me really have my imagination come to life in terms of the characters that were in my head. Another thing I really liked doing that I found to be really popular were these sketch dumps I did. Hold on, there's an airplane passing by. So yes, one of the more popular things I used to do, which really gave me a lot of traction, was these sketch dumps where I collaged many drawings into one thing, just because I did feel like it was very hard to share any of these images just by themselves and have it really be appreciated. I mean, I feel like people should appreciate drawings like these, but I felt like it was appreciated more when I collaged them together to just kind of give that feeling of like, oh, look at all this foundational work I had to do in order to make some random shit up in my head or whatever. I don't know, I really liked doing these, and I thought it was fun to collage them together because it kind of looks like a nice spread, or as if it was like a sketchbook spread, except it's all photoshopped into one giant document together. And I guess this is what I used to look like in high school, and I think we pretty much look the same, except I just have these more fluffy bangs now. And yeah, these are just more like rendered character stuff. Again, I just enjoyed doing this stuff at some point in time, and again, I would not want to be doing this stuff now, but it definitely was very therapeutic to just practice these things that, you know, I talked about in my 24 art tips, where things in the background are more faded out while things in the foreground are more opaque. But yeah, this is Mila, the girl that I did the comic of before. So, you know, maybe I will do something with her in the future, who knows, but as of now, I don't have any immediate plans. Oh my god, okay, another thing I used to love to do were these like animations. God damn it, bitch. So I used to really like doing these flash animations just because it was just so quick for me to just do these things and not really finish the drawings, but still practice animating. So yeah, I don't know, these were fun to do because I really liked imagining fake anime openings in my head with my characters, because let's be real, anime openings are the most motivational things ever. Like when you see that one character go through so much shit but then see all their friends in one collage. If I were to watch an anime opening while I went on a jog around like the street or whatever, I would just keep going and not stop because I feel like they're so motivational. So yeah. But yeah, so that was that. It was always just like I did these super rough flash animations or I went on full-on rendering shit. This was a drawing I did to a song called Passion by Uppermost. Check it out if you want to feel some bittersweet emotions. And this actually won a Scholastic something award when I was in high school because I don't really know, honestly, I forgot why I won it, but it definitely was meaningful for me because I felt like my artwork was being recognized. And yeah, I'm actually surprised of how much coloring I did, and now I talk about how much I hate coloring. I think before I went on that whole painterly rendered mode, I actually made stuff more line arted and whatnot, so this was like one of the first drawings I did of the same goddamn characters I just showed you. But yeah, otherwise I just always was imagining my own animated series, and because I was so influenced by anime, I really just wanted to make my own anime. And prior to that project, Sin, was when I was really into making this other story that was inspired by the Native Americans. I would really butcher the history right now, but I promise you during that time I was really into a research phase. I'm not going to get too carried away with that conversation, but basically that's just what one of the other old ideas I had, and it was called The Masked Girl. And then before all of that shit, you can see I was a total fucking weeb, okay? Like, this is when I actually went to my first anime convention ever, and it was a really small one at some college, and I just really, you know, wanted to make some money, okay? If I wanted to be quite honest, I never watched Madoka. I'm sorry. I got a lot of advice from people about what to do with conventions, and they said if you want to make money at conventions, you got to draw the characters that are trending right now. So Madoka was one of those characters that was trending in that moment, and I really do feel like I need to watch this anime at some point, so I will. But for this moment in time as a high schooler, I was just like,
y'all, I just need to make some cash, okay? And she's cute, so I'm gonna monetize her.
But yeah, going further back in time, I got even weebier with this stuff because I used to love listening to Japanese music. I had an album of just, I don't even know where it's from. I don't even remember where it is now, but during that time, I just really resonated with the music because it was so soothing and it calmed me the fuck down during the whole angsty phase of high school. But I was really into doing these watercolor things. I liked playing with textures. I liked playing with the lines and just all of that jazz because it was very soothing. I liked creating an image that I felt resembled music I was listening to. And then before all that was when I was still a fucking weeb and drawing all of this stuff that I actually did for other people. I don't know, I was definitely still a noob on Photoshop and practicing all these rendering skills, but hey, they brought me somewhere eventually, right? I still like playing with collages. I felt like I really experimented a lot with just the coloring and the rendering, but in general, I pretty much drew the same, and the same type of drawing just kind of improved throughout time, I guess. And I mean, I did stop drawing super anime looking things and I just started to incorporate some Western shit into my stuff. I was also really emo at this point in life. I sometimes wish I could just hide and cry, but what's the point if no one would even try to look for me? So I guess during this time in life was when I just really wanted people to ask if I was okay. I mean, I'm okay now, so in case if you're wondering, I'm fine now, but during this time in life, I was going through a rough patch with something that happened, and definitely is not something to talk about for now, but I had a lot of emo ass shit, okay? Like, I always just drew myself crying and dark. I'm sorry if this is a trigger to any people, like I should have put a trigger warning before this, but I just definitely was not the happiest. But drawing was one of the things that I felt like was an outlet for me, and I think that feeling of being able to express myself during a time that I felt like I couldn't otherwise with my voice or with talking to people, this was the way I got my feelings out, and for that I am thankful for drawing and art and whatnot. But yeah, if you are going through any mental, emotional, spiritual problems, whatever problems in your life, and you feel like you need to talk to someone, you should speak to a medical professional and seek help for those things. If you are thinking negatively, because there are people out there that do care about you, and you just need to, you know, have a place, a safe place for you to express those emotions. I think this is how I felt throughout a lot of middle school and high school. This was my setup when I was in middle school. I know, you're probably just like, what the fuck is a middle schooler doing with this shit? But I don't know if I was in middle school or early high school, but I was really into literally producing my own shit. I wanted to make my own anime so bad that I went to the extent of using Photoshop to animate it, and I put them all in iMovie. I didn't even have Premiere Pro yet. I went through all this technical shit thinking that I could actually stick it through, but guess what, guys? You actually need a team for this shit. So in case if any of y'all are wondering why you never saw the next episode of The Masked Girl, it's because doing something like this by yourself is unsustainable, okay? Unless if someone is paying you to just do this as your life. But even if I did do that, you'll never see an episode for like a whole year. So I don't think it's that worth it in my mind. Going back in real history, this is how I used to draw. I didn't even fucking hold the mewDoubled up the right way, so that just shows you how we all truly start from somewhere. I fucking loved FMA. I copied the shit out of stuff that I loved. But yeah, otherwise we're just going back earlier and earlier to my super early DeviantArt days. I think this is when I didn't even know what to post, so I kind of just made up random drawings, and I just feel like I did a lot of random shit. I didn't have a consistent thing. It's like, oh, one moment I'm doing anime, but then I'm doing studies from 9 by Tim Burton, and then all of a sudden I'm drawing some super conceptual abstract illustration, and then another moment I'm doing a fucking painting of this with acrylic paint. And then all of a sudden, I'm like doing these studies, and then I'm back to anime. So I was really all over the fucking place back on my DeviantArt. There's definitely a lot more to it. If you really want to check it out in the links below. I have a lot more other works that I have, but I can't go through all of them in one video. Maybe I'll make a part 2. Who knows? Let me know if you would like a part 2, because there are a lot of comics I made as well, and that could be its own video, but for now I'll just stick with the old artwork in general. But yeah, that is pretty much my old DeviantArt. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you really want me to do another one, a part 2, or just walking through some of the other cringy posts, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, let me know in general if you want to see me do more reaction videos to my old art. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you cringed with me. Hope your butt looks super nice and plumpy right now from all that cringing and clenching, but you know, you'll thank me when summer comes around. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one, and stay wholesome, bitches.